On the advice of NBA YouTuber Counsel, I have been informed that I would be all the wiser to avoid showing what I'm drinking, even if it's labelless, or just me drinking on camera. So, as much as I love making content for free, I would like to stay monetized. But I had this really fun idea because you guys seem to enjoy this stand-up thing that I do, which I didn't even really think we were classifying it as such, but that's what you guys think it is, and you like it, so let's roll with it. I thought let's add some flair into it. And you must think, well, Nick, you're the one with the microphone. You're the one sitting in front of a camera. You're the content. It's all you, baby. Nuh-uh. Not today. Today I wanted to flip the script. It's all you. You sitting in bed right now watching this video, you idiot at home. It's all you. All the eyes are on you today. How does it feel to be in a YouTube video? Now, these shenanigans did start on Twitter. Now, well, okay, future Nick. This is a participatory thing. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, I asked you guys who your favorite NBA players are. So future Nick, when you're editing this video, do me a favor really quick. I'm going to make a gesture, and I need you to flash my Twitter handle on the screen so that people don't miss out in the future. Okay, cool. All right. 3, 2, 1. Follow me on Twitter right here. Cool. So without further, well, okay, actually, I want to do this first. I know that so many of you guys, as soon as I say something about your favorite player that you don't like, which, by the way, I probably don't even actually believe, you're just going to be like, well, you're a Pistons fan, and blah, blah, blah. Listen, at least culturally and historically, my franchise has some sort of an identity. And what's that? 1, 2, 3, 3 championships, and you probably can't even say that. Well, Nick, I root for the Lakers. I root for the Celtics. Hey! You don't have the microphone right now. So anyways, our first submission comes from Kenny Beecham, a.k.a. King of the Fourth Quarter, and he said Chris Paul. Now, you're going to be hard-pressed to find me in a position where I have to say something bad about Chris Paul, but I actually did say this in a previous video. You know how many times over the years we've just seen a Chris Paul-led team maximize itself in the regular season and then do absolutely nothing in the playoffs? All the time. You know how many exceptions there are? Like 1.5. The half is in 2018 because it gets really murky and kind of weird, the hamstring injury and all the missed threes and all that. But the main exception, obviously, as we've all talked about it, is this year because the Suns are awesome. But Chris Paul usually leads a team that is like the Mike Budenholzer. Yeah, actually, Chris Paul has basically just been the Mike Budenholzer. Ooh, that's disrespectful. I don't like this. We're going to move on. Embiid, Joel Embiid. Okay, there's a lot of Joel Embiid. Let's do Joel Embiid. I will say this. I hate, and it's not just exclusive to him. Yes, there's the flopping thing. Where he'll just inexplicably fall to the ground, and there's not even an elbow within 5 feet of him. But the thing that he does, Kevin Durant does it, James Harden does it too, a bunch of players do it. I can't think of what's the move called. I'm blanking out right now. Like the sweeping motion that shooters will do on their way up, where they try to hook the defender's elbow and pretend to throw up a shot. Like you're gonna dislocate somebody's shoulder that way. I know Kelly Olynyk did that to Kevin Love once. It wasn't the same at all, but that was a straight up dirty play. Nobody's favorite player is Kelly Olynyk, but I hate Kelly Olynyk. I actually do have something nice to say about Joel Embiid, though. I really appreciate the way that he has formed this, like cultivated this personality online. Like, he's really embraced and comprehended American senses of humor in a really interesting way, where the dude is just objectively hilarious. Like, the way that, like, we think Luka is hilarious, but it's just because he's adorable. Like, Joel Embiid is just objectively a hilarious person, which actually goes into the next one pretty perfectly. A lot of you guys said Kevin Durant, and I don't think that there's anybody in the world who uses the internet, who uses Twitter better than Kevin Durant. Like, the way that he's so unfiltered all the time, unapologetically. I don't like listening to LeBron. I love LeBron. I think he's the greatest player of all time. But I don't like listening to LeBron in interviews, even if it's the shop. Like, if cameras are on, he's just so calculated and sometimes so corny that it just doesn't feel raw. It just doesn't feel like who he actually is, or maybe it is, and that's just what the problem is. Like, I just like listening to Kevin Durant speak. But you want me to say something bad about Kevin Durant? You are a size 17. If you didn't wear size 18s in the game, you would be in the Eastern Conference Finals right now. Boom! And I gotta tell you, for there being like almost 400 replies on this, there was not as much Luka as I thought that there was going to be. Imagine how good Luka Doncic will be when he figures out what a diet is. There's also a lot of like Jeremy Grant, which is great. Like, he's on my basketball team. He's one of my favorite Pistons. I don't think he's my favorite, but like, I love the gamble that Troy Weaver took on him. I love that Jeremy Grant bet on himself, and you go from this role where you're sometimes even a fifth option on a championship contending team, and you want to, go spearhead this rebuild. I love that. Can Jeremy Grant be the best player on a championship team though? No. So I don't know. Why is he your favorite player? No disrespect. I love Jeremy Grant 2 ways, but that's weird. The other one I just saw was Norman Powell. And, like, listen, if you guys have this love for, like, tertiary scores, I'm not one to make fun of that because I do it all the time. And there is something to be said about respecting and appreciating the intricacies of the well-oiled machine that makes the NBA run, because I would rather have somebody stan a role player than stan a star player. That just means that you probably care about basketball more. So the Norman Powell thing, bad you're a Blazers fan. Boom, roasted. Brings us to the next one. Damian Lillard. Wow, Damian Lillard. That's impressive. Damian Lillard's your favorite player. I wish that my favorite player had to rely on taking contested 35-footers in order to stay in a basketball game. I do. DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan's an interesting one because when they had the mid-range merchants down in San Antonio, when him and LaMarcus Aldridge were on the team, I just don't know if there's, for me, I don't want to be disrespectful because I like DeMar DeRozan. I can already tell that this is just going to be the biggest problem with this video is I'm not a mean person. I don't like being mean, so I just don't have anything mean to say about these players. Oh, wait, hold on. Because I know somewhere in here, somebody said there it is. Okay, Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's your favorite player. Wow, not impressed at all. If your whole shtick, if your entire appeal as a basketball player in the National Basketball Association is that you are your team's best player in practice and you own a coffee shop, I'm good. Oh, and then this one, between Jimmy Buckets and D'Angelo Russell. I cannot imagine the disdain that you must have for yourself to openly root for a guy like Jimmy Butler and a guy like D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell is a guy, he's like the antithesis of efficiency to me. And I know metrics don't even totally back that up, but to me, he just feels like Devontae Graham, but not this season, because if memory serves, Devontae Graham was actually pretty decent this year. Devontae Graham, to me, is always just a guy who will put up 13 threes a night and make 3 of them, and we're like, wow, look at this high-volume score. To me, that's just D'Angelo Russell. I don't know. And then I gotta say this, guys. You're going to get mad at me, and can you see me? There we go. You're going to get mad at me. If you disagree with anything that I'm saying, I got to be honest with you. I don't care. I don't leave a comment because I don't care. Or do. It's the internet. I know you guys are going to do whatever you want. The one I just saw, Matt Barnes. Talk about a guy who will drive 80 miles to beat up Derek Fisher. Nothing bad to say about Matt Barnes. Jaylen Brown. Well, and Marcus Smart back to back. Marcus, well, I don't have anything bad to say about either of them. But the one thing I'll say about Jaylen Brown, and I can say this about Jason Tatum too. There's probably a Jason Tatum in here, so I'm just going to say Jason Tatum next. The thing that I can say about both of them, Brown and Tatum, is that going into this season, never in my life would I have looked at both of them and been like, you elevate the play of others, because I just never really saw that. Admittedly, though, honest to goodness, this season, especially with Jaylen Brown, I felt like his playmaking really came along and he became really strong at getting others involved. Now, Jason Tatum, this drives me insane about Jason Tatum, because his rookie year, we're like, wow, impressed, Jason Tatum, wow. His second year, we were like, oh, Jason Tatum. And then his third season, halfway through his third season, it was mid-January, and his beard started to connect. We will always, for the rest of eternity, look back the middle of Jason Tatum's third season when his beard started to connect. That's when he became awesome. But what still to this day pisses me off about Jason Tatum is when he dribbles, he sometimes lets the basketball come up to his chest, and that's how you get swiped. It drives me up the wall. I gotta be honest, the sheer number of Cade Cunninghams that are in this, God, I love you guys, because the answer is yes. Ben Simmons. Anthony Edwards, look, the Anthony Edwards thing is so weird because when he puts up 40, but it's on like 35 shots, you just kind of got to be like, but he's just so freaking funny. He's just so funny and just hilarious. This stuff is hitting me just more and more as this video goes on, and it's making me sweat profusely. I don't know if you guys can. I am a wreck right now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep it together, but we got to get through this video. Gordon Hayward, it's got to be one of the more interesting ones that I've seen. You from Charlottesville? You a registered Republican? Oh my God, I didn't even realize what time it was. Hold on. The Tyler, the Creator album just dropped. I got to stop this video. We got to go listen to that. Hold on. There are too many players in the NBA that there are only like 3 players in the league who I don't actually like. You know how hard it is for me to say anything mean about these players? I'm looking right now. You know what I'm looking at right now? But none of you are going to guess. I'm looking at a signed photo of Kurt Rambis. You don't believe me? Hold on. What an arbitrary thing that would have been to lie about. I gotta be. I sifted through almost like 350 replies. Maybe I missed it. Nobody said Paul George. So people said Reggie Jackson, and they didn't say Paul George. Like, Reggie Jackson is, I think, the 3rd most efficient scorer in isolation in the playoffs right now. And as a Pistons fan, I got to be honest, I love it. I love that Reggie Jackson is just evolved. He evolved from Pistons fans saying that they were going to beat him up at an Applebee's to, like, now he's the 2nd most important player on a championship contending team right now. It's because Kawhi Leonard isn't playing. That's why I say 2nd. It's a lot of Donovan Mitchell, too. I got nothing to say about Donovan Mitchell. I don't know why. I'm good. I don't want to. To me, Donovan Mitchell. Nobody said Rudy Gobert either, which that doesn't surprise me because I'm asking NBA Twitter, and NBA Twitter. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, if you made it this far, I hope I didn't offend you. I hope I didn't say anything about your favorite player that bothered you. And again, if you hold on, if I did, I was going to do a Kermit thing, and I don't want to do that anymore. And if I did, then you can find solace in the fact that no matter what I say, it doesn't matter because your favorite player is probably still awesome, unless his name is Jimmy Butler, and then I'm just not going to get on board with it. Not on board with it at all. Sorry, NBA Twitter.